James Wilson again. Um, I just did an election prediction video based on if Biden fell flat on his face, and what would the states go? Now this is just an election prediction video based on how I feel the election would go if it would have happened tomorrow. Okay, so the election's tomorrow. Everyone has to get out and vote. How is this going to turn out? Okay. Now, I did look at some of the polling. Okay, I didn't make every single state. I'm not doing this based on polls. I'm doing it based on partially polls. I'm doing it based on kind of my gut and how I feel about it, and based on history as well. And so without further ado, I do want to get into this. If the election were tomorrow, how do I feel it would go? Okay, based on the current events. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the more obvious states. New Mexico and Colorado are going to go blue. Okay. I just said in a previous video, there's no way they're turning red. Okay. The state of Missouri will go to Donald Trump. I feel like if the election were tomorrow, he would win the state. Nebraska's 2nd district, that's very close, but I'm going to give it to Trump. I know some of the people are giving it to the Democrats, but I'm not necessarily doing this based on polling. I'm doing it. I am looking at the polls. I am kind of using it as a gauge, but I'm not using it as everything. People are talking about a hidden Trump vote. The conservatives are not responding as much as liberals. I mean, who knows what's going on here? I'm just doing this based on my gut and how I would feel if the election would be tomorrow. So with that respect, I think Texas will stay red. I think it's going to be tight, very tight. But I still think Donald Trump will hold on to the state. Okay? And that goes the same with Iowa and Ohio. I think Trump will hold on to those states as well. However, Virginia will go Democrat. Okay? Virginia will go Democrat. Trump will win Georgia. He's up in the poll. So if he's up in the poll, I'm going to give it to him. Okay? And in the state of Minnesota, that's going to go blue. Okay? And so now we're at 219 to 204. It's kind of tight, Maine will go for Joe Biden, but I still think Donald Trump will win the 2nd district. Okay? And so now we're at 222 to 205. I'm going to go down to the state of North Carolina. Biden's ahead on the polls. Okay? But as I said, I'm not doing this video based on the polls. I'm doing this video based on how I feel it's gonna go. I am using the polls as a gauge, but it's not going to be the final determining factor. I think North Carolina is going to go red at the end of the day. Nevada will be very tight, tighter than you expect. Okay, but I think Biden has the edge on Nevada, just because Republicans underperform in the polling. Okay? And New Hampshire, Biden will win the state of New Hampshire. Okay, if the election was tomorrow. And so now we're at these 5 states here. These are the important 5 in my opinion. These are going to determine the election. Okay? And, I have to say, Obama is a more winnable candidate than Joe Biden. I strongly believe that, and I also strongly believe in the state of Arizona, the Latinos, especially the Latino women, went out and voted for Hillary Clinton. I think she was probably stronger than Joe Biden. She was definitely stronger than Obama. Obama couldn't even pull off the state of Arizona. So in my opinion, if Obama can't pull it off, I don't think Biden can. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be tight. This is probably, the state of Arizona is the toughest for me to pick. But I'm giving it to Trump by about 1,000 votes, okay? This is very, very tough. But I know he's losing on the polls, but Trump did overperform in that state. And if you calculate that, it's within a point. Okay, so I'm giving it to the incumbent. Okay, so now you're down to these four. Now, when you look at the score, the electoral votes, it's 232 to 231. It's actually very tight. Okay, and as I said, I don't go on everything by the polls, but the polls are just too strong for Biden for me to give it to Trump. Okay, he's going to win the rest of these states. Okay, and Florida, because maybe the coronavirus, he is way down in the polls in Florida. So I have to give it to Biden. So if the election were to happen tomorrow, this is the outcome that I predict. Okay, Biden would be the next president. 307 to 231. Okay, that is my prediction. Any comments would be great. Like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.